Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you have subscribed to this channel. If you have, thank you so much. And well, let's get started. Okay, so I have both lenses right here with me. And well, I got this yesterday and it was out of the blue. I was on Facebook. I saw it was $200. This lens new is like $350. I offered them $150 and they said, yeah, we'll take it. And well, it's with me now. So I decided to make a comparison between these two, and well, at the end of the video I'm going to decide which one I'm going to keep, because I've had this for the longest time and I can trust it 100%. But this, I don't know if I can trust it yet. But I've always wanted a 1.4 lens. When I put this on my camera yesterday for a photo shoot that I had, I was just mind blown that I could see that 1.4 number in my camera. And well, that bokeh also, so yeah. Okay, so first test I will be making is autofocus. How fast can they autofocus from infinity to their closest focusing distance? And well, I'm going to start out with the 50mm 1.4, and I'm using my Canon 6D Mark I. So yeah, let's get to it. So as you can see right here, in this lens you can see the autofocus distance. So I'm going to show you. Right there, I'm at infinity. Let's get closer to the minimum distance and see how fast it can autofocus. Okay, that took what, 1 second, and it didn't hunt at all, so that's pretty good. Yeah, let's test out the 50mm 1.8. So we just tested out the 50mm 1.4, and that was snappy, that was quick and to the point. Now I want to test out the 50mm 1.8, and well, I set it to its like infinity focus distance, and well, as you can see in this one you don't have that little screen that to measure the focus. It doesn't tell you the measurements. And the autofocus ring is, the manual focus ring is weird. You can't use it unless you're like in the manual focus mode. I think it's something they call focus by wire, so it only works once it's activated. So yeah, that's weird. I like manual focus lenses where you're in autofocus, and if the autofocus misses a little bit, you can actually like fix it real quick with your own like hand. So yeah, that's one thing. So yeah, let's test the autofocus. One thing about the 50mm 1.8 is that it can actually autofocus a bit closer than the 1.4, so that's a plus for this one, I guess, because you can get closer to your subject or to your object that you're photographing. So yeah, let's try this focus test and let's see if it's as fast as the 1.4 or faster. So let's try it out. Okay, that was really interesting. It's pretty slow at focusing, so that was like, you got it. This was like, got it. You know? Those little seconds that throw you off a little bit, and it could cost you a good image, so you might want to consider that when you're picking between these two lenses. When it comes to autofocus, I'm definitely going with the 50mm 1.4. Let's move on to the next test. Okay, so test number 2 is going to be sharpness. And well, I got the 50mm 1.4 on here, and I'm going to test it out with these leaves right here. So one thing I have to consider is that this autofocus is farther away and that one can focus closer. So I'm going to try to take them from the same place just so the test is fair, and well, you can see a pretty similar image and we can compare the sharpness. I will be shooting this one in 1.8, so we have the same aperture, and well, we can compare them in their same apertures. Okay, so I just took a picture of like this little elbow on a branch, and I think that will get us a really well, really good test. Let's go get the 50mm 1.8. So let's start with the 50mm 1.8. Yeah, let's try it out. Another thing about slow autofocus is it can jeopardize the sharpness of your image, because by the time it's already focused, it might have already moved. So one thing to consider, another thing to consider right there. Okay, it looks sharp enough. This is a 20 megapixel sensor, so it should do the job. Okay, so test number 3 is going to be chromatic aberration. What's that? Okay, so when you take a picture of something and you zoom really close, you'll see a bunch of colors around what is in focus. So yeah, let's see which one of these two lenses has less chromatic aberration. Here's an example of chromatic aberration. So yeah, that's chromatic aberration. That's what we're looking for in these lenses. Let's see which one has less of it, because it doesn't look great when you're trying to take a sharp portrait. Okay, I mean, 50mm 1.8 doesn't look bad at all. So now let's switch it up and test out the 1.4. I am going to test this lens at 1.4 because that's just what I would use it in. Okay, so let's turn the camera on and try to take the same picture. 1.4. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, wow, okay. Between these two pictures, I can already tell that this lens has way more chromatic aberration than this lens. And well, it makes sense. This lens is really old. The design is an older design than this is. So this came out just a couple of years ago. That's how many years this lens came out. And this is how many years this lens came out. So yeah, I mean, design wise, with the glass inside, they might have done quite a few improvements on this one. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on what look you're going for, and if you're going for ultra sharp portraits or if you're going for more dreamy, more vibey, more film like portraits. I think the 50mm 1.4 will serve you better, because this is a bit more sharp and has less defects than this one does. So yeah, one thing you don't have to worry about is that when you're editing in Lightroom, all of these defects you can pretty much fix 90% of them, and that comes with lens corrections. So every time they update the lens correction software, the lenses get better. Basically, that's what lens correction does. It makes your lens a better lens, and it takes away all that chromatic aberration and purple fringing and all that stuff. So it just depends from like the get-go if you want them sharper or you want that dreamier vibe. I personally like dreamier vibes, so I think I'm gonna go with this lens. Put the cap on this. It's those minor details that really make an image look way nicer, smoother, and well, I'm liking the 50mm 1.4 a lot. Only thing is, it does have some autofocus inconsistencies, so you might want to test that out before you buy it, if you buy it used. Besides that, I don't see anything else wrong with it. It's a lens that's been used, so yeah, just make sure you test out the gear you're gonna buy used before you pay for it, because I mean, I don't want you to get like a super crappy, inconsistent, maybe it's broken inside, maybe the autofocus doesn't work lens. So yeah, hope you liked this video. Hope it helped you make a decision between the 50mm and the 1.8 and the 50mm 1.4. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Oh, also, don't forget to download my presets. They are free right now. You can give whatever you want, $5, $1, $10, or you can get them for free if you don't want to pay for them. So yeah, I'll leave the link for them down below, and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.